not to. I mean, I suspect that a lot of that rumor got started about Disney getting involved is more from Miyazaki purists who can't believe that Miyazaki doesn't make a perfect movie every time. I mean, I personally think that Ponyo just didn't come together, and that's just what filmmaking is like. It doesn't always come together.
One point about Ponyo though is, or at least I'm not a Miyazaki purist, but again, I look on the positive side of things. I just think that it was a good introductory anime film on the part for Westerners. Prime example, all the people I've shown Ponyo, including my girlfriend Claire, who has never seen anime before. I showed her this. She absolutely loved it. Then I showed her other Miyazaki films. Her head almost exploded. It's a good way to get people into it. It's not for main otakus. And again, it's that thing I say all the time. I don't think Miyazaki was trying too much to because otakus think it's okay. They don't hate it, well, at least I don't. I think Ponyo's a great film, but most otakus don't hate it. They just think, meh, it's a film. But the people that are introducing themselves to it, people, especially parents, parents can say nothing about this film. There is nothing wrong, in what parents usually complain about, especially with anime, naked children, pornographic, inappropriate themes. There is nothing of that. And this is a good introduction because parents will let the kids watch it. More often than not, the classic thing that'll happen is parents will get it for the kids it for Christmas. The parents will have to sit and watch it because that's what I did to my parents when they got me Bionicle. They sit and watch it.
Which Bionicle?
First Bionicle. Both of them.
Mask of Light, Beasting.
Both of them are awesome. But they'll watch it. They'll open their eyes for the every now and then bit and think, this is okay. Maybe I'll let my kid watch other animes, and that's what I think Ponyo was. It was an introductory thing. It wasn't for us. It was for them. The ones outside of the forest of otakus. The unprivileged ones.
I think that's the thing with Hayao Miyazaki. Hayao Miyazaki, he has a habit of creating anomalies. If we look at Spirited Away. That definitely wasn't trying to bridge out to Western audiences. You can totally see it wasn't. And maybe it was because that was the first film that Pixar grabbed it. But it's and the marketing push again. But I think here's the thing. It's what's happening. What's really happening is that this whole thing will stuff like Ghibli westernize? It's not that it's not like Ghibli's westernising. It's that whenever a new Ghibli comes out, we're understanding. We are learning.
That's an excellent point. That's an excellent point. I mean, a lot of times we forget how much Akira or Princess Mononoke, whatever was your introduction to anime, was a complete shock. What the heck is this thing? When we start with, especially when we start with Miyazaki stuff, which is different than most everything else out there, it's hard to remember that is very shocking and very different. And so you watch that and then you get more used to it. Now that we've all had exposure to a lot of Miyazaki, we see a new this Ponyo film, and it's like, okay, this isn't as weird as it seemed to be because we're used to the weirdness.
And if we look at past. If we look at different directors, I think what Miyazaki's just done is that, the marketing push and stuff has... Yeah, exactly. The reason Britain likes Spirited Away, Matt, is the Jonathan Ross thing. I actually originally sort of was going to watch it because I watched Jonathan Ross film 2000 and whatever it was. That marketing push does mean a lot, and I think the whole anomalic nature of the marketing push is what definitely gave it. It was bright, it was visual, and it got good reviews because it was unique and it was different. And that anomaly, no matter how much we look at it, our cultures are very, very, very affected by reviews when it comes to the industry. Like there's a definite like correlation between reviews and selling a lot.
Yeah.
And sort of, and with that marketing push and that good review definitely got it somewhere. And you know, like we have seen versions of attempted bridge gaps between the cultures before, and they failed because they're not trying. Because no matter how much they try and keep with the culture, a lot of people don't understand that actually it is trying to. It is trying to basically advertise anime. And look at The Matrix, for example. It was almost an adaptation of Ghost in the Shell, in a sense. Yeah. But then again, never once did... I mean, it took a lot... I mean, anyone who hadn't watched them at the time... I first saw Matrix before I was an otaku. And, you know, I could not for the life of me at the time realise anything anime about it. So I thought this was a cool, unique film. And there was nowhere near a push saying that this is anime-based.
Yeah.
You know, and then that's kind of what happened. Then the animation